Okay, we'll get started laying on our backs, setting up for a nice pelvic curl. I've got my feet planted hip width distance apart, almost like there's two fists between my knees here. Feet are planted underneath my knees. I'm gonna press my arms down by my side, root down through the palms of your hands and all 10 of your fingertips. Right away, we're in neutral, so that means we're not in a tuck, we're not in an arch. Take an inhale to prepare. And then exhale, tuck your pelvis, flatten your low back into the mat, then slowly start to peel yourself up into your lifted bridge position. Okay, at the top here, let's redirect our energy into our lower abdominals. So I want you to think this is belly button and down. Try to relax the quads, try to relax the glutes. Little bit of work here into the hamstrings. And then I'm already engaging my triceps by pushing them energetically into the mat. Inhale at the top. Exhale, tuck and roll yourself down. I want you to think length out through your tailbone as you articulate your spine down to your mat. Inhale, find neutral. And then exhale all the way up. Inhale. Exhale, we unravel slowly. I want you to imagine each vertebrae setting down onto the mat at a time. And reset. Exhale all the way up. Inhale. And exhale all the way back down to your mat. Okay, we're gonna hold up one more. Exhale all the way up here. Okay, on your next inhale, we're dropping just the right hip. So keep that left hip lifted, almost like you're rinsing through this oblique. Exhale to lift the right hip up. Inhale, we drop the left hip. Exhale, we lift. So I'm thinking of this as one fluid motion, not really pausing in between each of my hip dips. Little flossing for the obliques. Today is an obliques focus series. I want to warm them up right away. And left. Try to get as large range of motion as you can here. And then keep pressing into those fingertips. Mine were relaxing. So saying that for you as much as I am for me. And dip. And dip. Thinking each oblique is powering the lift in the lower of that hip. 3 more. Holding it lifted in 2. Last one on my right. Last one on my left. Okay, come back through center. We're going to extend the right leg nice and long in a diagonal. Take a little peek here at that right hip. It's going to want to start to dip lower than the left, but I want you to think that right oblique keeps it lifted. Option to stay here with the arms down by your side. Little challenge. Float the fingertips overhead. Have them hovering a few inches off of the mat. Okay, breath in. Exhale, open the right leg out to the side a few inches. Inhale, bring it in. Just 8 total each side. Okay, so we are exhaling as the leg moves away from the midline. Think exhale, engage right oblique. Open and close halfway. Making sure my hips are square as well. And then if your arms are overhead, go ahead and make sure your shoulders are plugged down your back. No shoulder earrings. 2. 1 more. Nice. Bend it in. Return the right foot back through center. Inhale, lift the hips an inch higher. Exhale, extend the left leg long in a diagonal. Nice. So on your inhale, you can take a peek here at your hips, make sure they're square. And then exhale, open. And open here. I'm energetically reaching my fingertips here away from my left toes. Getting a little bit of work, of course, through the right quad, right glute, but really thinking this is oblique warm-up. 3. Okay, last one. Back through center, return the left foot to the mat. Inhale, lift your hips an inch higher. Exhale, tuck and roll yourself down. Feel your fingertips reaching away from your pelvis. Nice, 1 more because that felt really juicy on the spine. Inhale, arms down by your side. Exhale, roll it on up. Inhale, fingertips reach overhead. Exhale, roll it down. 1 line of energy from the fingertips out through the knees. Okay, really nice. You can hug your knees in towards your chest just for a sec. Equalize the spine. And then you're gonna bring your legs up into tabletop. I'm gonna squeeze my knees together, squeeze my feet together. My legs are gonna stay the same shape the whole time. So I'm almost thinking like 90-degree angle of my knees are not going to move. Opening my arms out into a T. Okay, my shoulders are relaxed and my palms are facing up. On my inhale, I'm dropping just my lower body over to the right, just a few inches, almost like halfway. Okay, at the bottom here, we're making sure that your deepest expression, almost like a 45-degree angle here of my knees over to the right. My left shoulder, though, stays on the ground the whole time. So you've gone too far if you see your left shoulder starting to lift. Okay, your exhale, knees come back up. Same thing, other side, knees over to the left, right shoulder blade stays on the floor. Exhale, we lift. Okay, we're continuing to switch side to side. So a little bit of rotation here. We are, though, looking for range of motion. So I want you to go as far as you can without losing the core. We started with those really narrow and shallow hip dips. Now we're making this a little bit bigger, warming up through the obliques. We're going to be using them. And left. Really imagining my body in two separate halves. Belly button up is nice and square. And belly button down is finding this rotation. Almost thinking like my fingertips are my anchor here onto the earth. Okay, one more to the right. We're going to stay over to the right after this. One over to the left. Back through center. Okay, knees are going to shift over to the right here. Make sure that left shoulder blade's glued into the mat. You're going to extend both of your legs long. And you're going to bend your knees. You're going to exhale, extend. Inhale, bend. Let's do 4. And 3. 2. This fly won't leave me alone. Last one. Extend, hold it long. Breath in. Exhale, little scissor kicks. Teeny, teeny, and slow. Really thinking left obliques keeping you in this position. Let's do 4, 3, 2, 1. Bend the knees, slowly come back through center. Okay, nice. You're gonna slowly bring the legs over to the left. Right shoulder blade stays down. You're gonna exhale, extend legs long in a diagonal. Inhale, bend. And we're gonna hold on that extension and bend. So you're exhaling on the extension. Because I want you to engage the core here as your legs move further and further away from the midline. Okay, we'll hold long in 4. Still finding a neutral spine here. Pressing energetically into my left hand. This fly, man. 2. One more. Extend your legs long in a diagonal. Breath in. Exhale, we scissor. And scissor. Maybe like a half a foot up with each leg. Okay, 4, 2, 1. Bend the knees. Slowly bring your knees back through center. Okay, nice. We're going to start to march. I'm going to bring my hands here behind my head. Interlacing my fingertips behind the base of my head. And then my elbows are going to come into my peripheral. So in this lifted position, my knees are exactly where they were before. But I'm making sure that my pelvis here is still in neutral. So we're actually not trying to tuck or crunch. I don't want you to try to flatten your low back into the mat. Rather, I still want you to think like you can balance a glass of water right on your belly. It's nice and flat. So I do actually have a little sliver of space between my low back and the floor. Okay, and then my gaze is right at my inner thighs. I'm going to keep my knees squeezed. Breath in. I'm exhaling to dip my toes just a few inches. Inhaling to lift. If we feel like we can control the core here, your toes can come all the way to the mat. But sometimes when we lower the toes, right, we start to lose the core and move into an arch. So I want you to make sure that you're keeping the core nice and neutral the whole time. And then my head is totally relaxed here into my hands. few more. We're going to add the rotation. 3, 2, last one, lower, inhale, lift, really nice. So this time we're going to switch up the breath a little bit. This time your inhale is going to be on the lower of the toes. Your exhale, the knees lift, you rotate left elbow towards the right. Inhale, through center tap, exhale, we rotate. So I'm trying as hard as I can here to keep both of my hips on the floor the whole time. What really wants to happen as you rotate, right, that right hip wants to lift as you're rotating over to the left. But I want you to try to keep your body here in nice symmetry, equal weight in your hips, really separating the body. Think belly button up, finding this rotation, and exhale. And exhale. Nice. Let's do 3 more each side. Okay, fly has left me alone. How exciting, 2. Not a crunch here. 1 more over to the right. And 1 more over to the left. Okay, back through center. You're going to extend both of your legs up to the ceiling or up to the sky. I'm going to keep my chest nice and lifted here. I'm going to drop my left toes down to the mat. And now I'm going to find the rotation similar to what we just did, but this time with a full extension of the leg. Now again, this is not a crunch. I'm actually not trying to make a connection between elbow and knee. Rather, I'm thinking like a corkscrew, energy up through the crown of my head. And then I'm going to switch through center and exhale, switch. And exhale. And switch. And switch. Okay, we're going to do 4 more. Holding over to the right on that 4th. 3, 2. Here's where we hold. Last one over to the right, then we're going to go to the left. Okay, slowly start to lift that left leg up to meet the right. And we lower. Exhaling to lift. Inhaling to lower. So I'm going to exhale on that lift of that left leg because I really need to anchor through the core or else I start to roll over right there. I just did that. We're lifting. Okay, 3. Head is still relaxed into the hands. Absolutely no neck tension. 1 more. Really nice. Okay, come back through center. You're going to find this rotation to the left. I'm dropping my right leg this time. Breath in. Exhale, right leg lifts. And lower. Here you're going to maybe start to find a little bit of spinal flexion. That's that tuck. Totally fine. But I am striving for a neutral spine here the whole time as much as I possibly can. Although it's very hard. 3. We're done with belly up in 2. 1 more. Lift. Back through center. And relax the neck down. Hug your knees in. Can rock side to side. Little massage for the sacrum. Explore the width of your pelvis. Breath in. And breath out. Okay, really nice. I want you to start to gain a little bit of momentum. So I'm going to rock forward and back just a few times. And eventually you're going to meet me in a hovered position here on your sacrum. So I'm going to do 1 more. And I'm nice and lifted. I'm going to scooch back. I need a little bit more space, but you obviously don't have to. Okay, I'm going to be in kind of a modified boat pose here. So my legs are going to be separated hip width distance apart. Then I'm going to open my arms down by my sides here. Palms are going to face up towards the sky just to make sure I've got an open chest. Now you'll notice that my belly button up is nice and open, but I'm actually not craning my neck. I'm going to look directly an inch above my toes here. Then my belly button down is in a really gentle C curve just to protect that low spine. At any point here, you can bring the hands behind your body onto your forearms as well if you need a little bit of support here for that low back. Okay, I'm going to slowly start to march. Right toes and left. Inhaling to tap, exhaling to lift. In and out. So I'm trying not to bend or straighten my knee. Rather, I'm thinking this is a hinge at the hip flexor. Open chest. We're gonna add a rotation. 3, 2, and last one. Really nice. This time as the right toes tap, we rotate to the left, inhale back through center, exhale, switch. So you're exhaling on the rotation, and then you are rotating towards that lifted knee. Just a few more, and we're on hands and knees. One more. Back through center. Okay, sit yourself up, seated butterfly. I've got feet in, toes, or knees out, excuse me. Getting a really nice hip opening here. Deep breath in. And long breath out. Okay, slowly we start to lift ourselves up onto our glutes. And then we're just gonna flip on over here. Okay, so I'm gonna be in a nice quadruped position here to start. I'm gonna do one cat-cow just to flush it out. So inhale, arch your back. And then exhale into your cat. Okay, from here I'm just gonna nod my head yes. And shake my head no. Gonna try to release any tension out of my thoracic spine, cervical spine, that's the neck. Breath in. And exhale, I'm gonna find neutral right away. Okay, a little bit of work here on hands and knees and we're out of here. I'm gonna come down onto my left forearm. So my right hand is gonna be underneath my shoulder blade. My right elbow is gonna be tucked in by my side, almost like a tricep dip. And then I've come down onto my left forearm. Left hand is at a diagonal, so it's directly in front of the right hand. Then I'm opening up both of my hips here. So in this position, I want you to think hip opening from the bottom and that top hip here. And then we're trying to use those obliques to lift ourselves up out of the hips rather than sinking in. Okay, gonna slowly lower that right toe down. Exhale to lift. Now I'm keeping my gaze directly at my fingertips here, thinking neutral neck. Try not to look in front, you're gonna start to crane the neck. Also don't sag those shoulder blades or that neck as well. And lift. Okay, 4, 3, 2, one more. Okay, we're gonna lift it up nice and high. Gonna tuck my left toes underneath, extend my right arm overhead. So if this is too much, we feel super unbalanced, that right hand is gonna come back onto the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, we're gonna do 2 inches up, 2 inches down. So it looks exactly the same. Rather than doing that full range of motion with the lower body here that we just did, it's just 2 inches. And we add the arm if we want. So my obliques are really, really on right now, or else I'd be falling off. That's what's keeping me balanced. Stay lifted in 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice and high breath in. Exhale, I want you to slide elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. Same thing. Ooh, losing my balance. With that right hand on the floor, the knee comes in and extends. Okay, so that right arm lifted is going to be so much more challenging on the upper body, on the core. I'm thinking that right oblique is powering. That's why we're exhaling on the in, inhaling to extend. Okay, a few more. 3, 2, last one. In. Okay, return the right hand down to the floor. Slowly start to lift yourself up. And then right leg is gonna come out to the side. Do a nice active thread the needle. So I'm gonna open my right fingertips towards the sky, pushing into my left hand. Think chest opening. Slowly we thread. So don't relax the right shoulder blade yet. This is an active stretch. So inner thigh stretch as well. Inhaling to open. Exhaling to rotate. And inhale. And exhale. I'm actually wringing out through my waistline here. Nice. 2. 1 more. All the way up. Okay, return the right hand down. Slowly return the right knee to meet the left. You obviously don't have to switch around, but I'm going to, so you can keep looking at my angle here. Now we're going to switch sides. So I'm on my left hand. Right forearm comes onto the mat at a slight diagonal here. thinking the right hand is directly in front of the left hand here, opening up through both of my hips. So right away to start, thinking opening from the right bottom hip, left as well. And then you're inhaling, tap the left toe down. Exhale to lift, just straight down. Getting a little bit of space in that hip. I'm also working heavily here into that left outer glute, think glute med. My obliques are keeping me lifted off of my shoulder blade and out of my hip here. So what a relaxed posture looks like is kind of sinking down. I want you to keep pushing the floor away with the right shoulder and the right hip. Okay, then my right toes are untucked to start. You can go ahead and tuck them though if you really need. But the tuck toe really helps with that balance. Okay, 2 more. 1 more. Nice, all the way up. You're gonna tuck those right toes, if not already there. Extend left arm overhead. Okay, take what you took on side 1, breath in. Exhale, up with the arm and leg, and lower. So not a pulse. This is nice and slow, up, and up. Think opening of the chest, making sure that neck is still nice and neutral. Really working here into the right tricep. Okay, we're gonna hold lifted in 3, 2, last one, nice and high, breath in. Exhale, slide elbow to knee. Inhale, extend. So what I see a bunch of my students here is we actually start to crunch and collapse. I don't want you to do that. I want you to keep that spine straight. So I'm literally just sliding elbow to knee. If the elbow and the knee don't touch, totally fine. The focus though is on the neutral spine and the exhalation to bring that knee in. That's the left oblique. And extend. This is it, just 1 more move and we're done. Okay, 4. We're coming onto our hands shortly. 2. 1 more. Extend. Rotate your chest down, coming up onto both of our hands. Left leg opens nice and wide, little lateral lunge. Inhaling, pushing into my right fingertips, opening my chest. Exhale, we thread. This is that active stretch, so left shoulder never touches the floor. Inhale. And exhale. Should feel really yummy on the spine to get this rinse. Also, left inner thigh should feel really nice too. And up. Okay, 3, 2, last one. Open. Nice, circle the arm back around. I'm gonna bring my feet together, knees out nice and wide. Really nice wide-legged child's pose. I'm gonna rock side to side. Little stretch here for the hips. Deep breath in. Relax the core, breath out. Always love a reverse prayer as well. I'm gonna bring hands together to the nape of my neck. Elbows are still on the floor, and then I'm gonna crawl my elbows an inch or 2 forward. On my exhale, I sit back, get that nice stretch in the triceps. Breath in, and breath out. When you're ready, I'm gonna extend my fingertips forward. And on my final exhalation, I slowly rise. Think 1 vertebrae at a time. Head is the last piece to seated. Beautiful job.